The world of Game of Thrones is full of political betrayals, epic battles, and unforgettable characters. But can Game of Thrones Kingsroad capture that same magic in video game form? Or is it just another forgettable cash grab? Set within the established Game of Thrones timeline, Kingsroad introduces a fresh narrative where you take on the role of a faction leader. This unique setup allows for political drama, alliances, and betrayals, all fitting right into the Game of Thrones world. Unlike other games in the franchise that follow major events from the series, Kingsroad gives you more control over your journey. Your choices have real consequences, shaping relationships and determining the fate of your character. One of the best things about the game is its attention to world building. You'll visit iconic locations like Castle Black and the Wall, with plenty of hidden elements to uncover. The game also features well-known characters such as Jon Snow and Rose Bolton, who help shape the events of your story. Having these familiar faces around makes the game feel more connected to the larger universe. Beyond the main quest, there are plenty of side missions that flesh out the world and add layers to the narrative. Some quests focus on political intrigue, while others require you to battle dangerous creatures or uncover hidden secrets about Westeros. The variety in storytelling keeps things interesting and avoids making the game feel too linear. Kingsroad does a great job of blending cinematic storytelling with gameplay. The opening sequences smoothly transition into combat and exploration, making it feel like you're playing through an episode of the show. The game is an action RPG, meaning you'll be hacking and slashing through enemies using light and heavy attacks, dodging, and blocking. The combat feels dynamic, and there's even a combo system that lets you chain attacks together. The game displays which combo you're executing, making it easier to learn and experiment with different attack patterns. Players can choose between 3 character classes: Knight, Sellsword, and Assassin. Each class offers a unique combat experience, adding replayability to the game. Plus, the game features stealth mechanics, allowing you to take out enemies silently instead of rushing into battle. This adds a layer of strategy, making encounters feel more varied. Kingsroad doesn't just throw basic enemies at you. Sure, you'll fight human foes, but the game also includes creatures from Game of Thrones lore, such as ice spiders, wolves, and iron-beaked griffins. These enemies make the world feel more dangerous and unpredictable. Mini-boss fights add an extra layer of challenge, requiring more strategy and focus to defeat. While the game isn't overwhelmingly difficult, it still demands precise timing for dodges and attacks. That said, some players may find it too easy, especially since death wasn't much of a threat during the demo. Boss fights in the later stages introduce additional mechanics like environmental hazards and timed attack sequences. Some battles even require you to use stealth or special weapons to exploit enemy weaknesses, making combat feel fresh and engaging as you progress. As you level up, you'll unlock new abilities through the game's skill system. Progression feels smooth and natural, making it easy to understand for both RPG veterans and newcomers. The pacing of the game is also solid. Cutscenes, combat, and exploration all flow seamlessly without unnecessary pauses. Equipment also plays a big role in progression. You can find or craft new weapons and armor, each with its own stats and abilities. Some weapons even have elemental effects, allowing you to deal extra damage to certain enemy types. Managing your gear becomes essential for tougher battles later in the game. Kingsroad is set to feature a co-op multiplayer mode where you can team up with other players to take down tough creatures like Stormhorn unicorns and beast griffins. While this sounds promising, there's no way to tell yet if multiplayer will be a well-integrated feature or just an afterthought. If the multiplayer is well executed, it could add significant replay value, allowing players to strategize and take on difficult missions together. However, if it ends up being poorly balanced or tacked on, it might not be worth the time. The game's visuals are a mix of detailed environments and some rough animations. While locations like the Wall and Castle Black look stunning, some character animations feel incomplete. There are noticeable frame drops when loading new areas, or when too many enemies are on screen. Hopefully, these issues will be fixed before the full release. Voice acting plays a big role in the game, bringing characters to life and making the story more immersive. However, sound design in combat could use some work. Some attacks lack impact due to weak sound effects, which takes away from the weight of the combat. The soundtrack captures the dark, medieval tone of Game of Thrones, but there's a lack of variety in background music during exploration. More dynamic shifts in the soundtrack could help enhance immersion, especially during major story beats. Game of Thrones Kingsroad does a lot right. The mix of political intrigue, exploration, and action RPG mechanics makes it an engaging experience. The world feels alive, choices matter, and combat is smooth and enjoyable. However, the game does have its flaws. Frame drops, rough animations, and a combat difficulty that might feel too easy for some players. Plus, while co-op sounds interesting, it remains to be seen how well it will be implemented. If you're a Game of Thrones fan looking for a solid RPG with an original story, this game is worth keeping an eye on. But if you're expecting a fully polished experience right now, you might want to wait and see how the final version turns out. That wraps up demo review of Game of Thrones Kingsroad. What do you think about the game so far? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more gaming reviews. See you in the next one. And if you're looking for a game that truly masters the art of storytelling, The Witcher 3 is the gold standard. Whether you've played it before or never experienced it, The Witcher 3 is a game that deserves to be revisited. So, if you want to dive into an RPG that delivers everything Kingsroad wishes it could, click the link on screen now and check out our full review of The Witcher 3. See you there.